Hello, Liz Davis. In preparation for your presentation at the 2021 UNESCO DCMÉT Chair Symposium, thank you for participating in this interview. Please tell us about yourself.
Thank you. What a pleasure and a privilege to be part of this. When we began the work together with partners OSDCA, we never imagined what the interest would be in the work. And so a little bit about me, I'm a teacher at heart. Once a teacher, always a teacher. I'm the mother of two students in post-secondary right now. I live in Ontario and was just recently promoted into the superintendent role in York Region District School Board. When I'm not working, I am also the proud owner of 3 rescue kittens, and I am at the cottage or camping or outdoors as much as I possibly can be, and traveling. So all of those things are things that certainly bring me joy, being on the water, hanging out with friends and family, and loving the work that I'm doing. So a pleasure to be here.
Great, thanks. And what are your preoccupations right now with your region or your concerns about your region or your country right now?
And I think none of us can escape from the realities of what's been going on, not just with the pandemic and our health, but for me, connected to the work we're focusing on in York Region, issues of racism, issues of just a lack of knowledge, understanding of the legacies, certainly in Canada, for our Indigenous people and our Black communities in particular right now. I think all of us were witness to the horrific act and murder of George Floyd, and that has become a global catalyst, I think, in some ways for movement and thinking. And so really important to consider that in the work that we're doing in our board. We have just released our Dismantling Anti-Black Racism strategy, and we are really focusing on looking at our data a little bit differently. I think overall we're a very successful board, most graduating at about an 80% or higher rate. We have a lot to learn about the gaps and who is in those gaps and who's consistently been in those gaps for us. And so when I think about global issues and concerns, for me, they come back right to my next door neighbor, to my community, and to my school board as we start to really think differently, learn a lot, and engage differently with communities that have been marginalized for a very long time.
Great. And what are your sources of inspiration right now?
Sources of inspiration. I have to say family and friends, the animals that make me nuts sometimes too. And then at work, the kids, the students. I am incredibly inspired by the educators, the health workers, the way communities have pulled together to really examine this and come in with intention to make a difference. My interest in the last number of years has been really working with, first as a principal for over a decade in underperforming schools. And so for us, that means schools that for a lot of different reasons are not at the standard we would expect and hope. And so that's kind of how I came into the work after being a special education teacher for many years, and continue that work in this role as well, and are looking really deeply at what do we mean by underserved and what's our responsibility there. And every day I'm inspired by the kids. They're innovative, they're creative, they're funny, they're brilliant, and the staff I get to work with.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Liz Davis, for this interview.
Most welcome. Look forward to the conference.